What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C. And in this particular video, y'all, also known as my second take, I will be reviewing Black Ink Crew Season 3, Episode 12, Season Finale. Let's get into it. Also, shout out to my YouTube fam as always. And if you're not part of my YouTube fam, click that description button, subscribe button below, and like and share this video. You can, please. Twitter, Google, Facebook, Planet, Tumblr, your blog. So anyway, let's go from there. Now, based on, I kind of wish that they had, consider how popular Black Ink Crew's been on 3 seasons already. I do wish that they had like some type of reunion, that, not set up in a way where they had to have an audience, kind of like a more, personal, kind of like set up like how they have a lot of these other reality TV shows that have, the reunions. And to see what's up with everybody, because unless something comes up in the blogs or anything like that, we're kind of left with a question like what's going to happen next. But we can't say this, we already know that Puma no longer, I don't know if he lost the shop or moved on to another business, but with the Black and whatever's going on with his Ink 24 thing, we already know, I told before in a couple videos, or I don't even know if that was the one that I got a chance to put up or not, about him losing his Ink 24, the business closing down or whatever, it's no longer more. So that's going bye-bye. And so, but we have so many questions, whatever. Would be interesting, say, if oh my gosh, Caesar and Duchess get married, and if they can, if they have it also season 4, that'd be pretty interesting. I don't know why, but even though I know we've been kind of like this with Siege and Duchess, it'd be interesting all the events that go ahead, especially with this fuckery we see towards the end, okay? And again, the problem is miscommunication. And it seems to be, to a point where certain stuff that happened shouldn't have happened, that could have been done with communication, even if it was through a goddamn DM on Twitter or some shit. It just seemed like a lot of stuff wouldn't have happened, and it was like, what the hell? Once I got clarity of the fight, because I didn't know what the hell. I knew that Duchess got jumped, we didn't know how, why, how, whatever, and then we had more of that. But let's get, first of all, we see Sassy, got a new apartment. She wants to take it to the next level with Dee Dee, as far as, like, are you going to be my living boo? And first, Dee Dee was kind of like overwhelmed, and instead of her like, oh my gosh, yes, I love you, she first like, I don't know. Ooh. And Sassy like, I didn't know she was going to do that. Ooh. And, then she was kind of concerned about maybe Dee Dee was, basically getting out of the situation, was unsure because of what had happened, the results of, since her mom kind of was like, oh, you said significant was a woman, and kind of pushed off from her, and she's going through that circumstances. And so maybe, she was going to change her mind, and, I think that's what Sassy asked her again to make sure. And Dee Dee said yes. So now, they basically in like I said, about to be, living in together and stuff like that. So good for them. So it'll be interesting to say if they do have, like I said, season 4, how they turned out. That's that. But Sassy does come back for a second, but not that much. But I don't know why I did like the Storm hair color that she had, kind of inspired kind of hair. Was it a Storm? Was it like white, or was it grayish, whatever? But Sassy's can always somehow, she can get away with a bunch of stuff in her hair, colors in her hair that some people can't, But anyways, so we have also another thing. Let's get into the situation with Sky and Teddy. Now, Sky is the relief. She is kind of, if you notice, maybe it's just me, but I noticed that actually since she came there, when they had the bonus or the extended season 2, she has been more calmed down. Because the previous season, we seen her, she was kind of like a ticking time bomb. And now all of a sudden now it's kind of like, not to say still can't come out of her, but she's kind of like, and maybe that always was a part of her, but we never got a chance to really see it. But she just seems to be more mellow, you know what I'm saying? Like smoking that good weed or some type of mellow, okay? She's been smoking that loud, but I'm just saying that she's been kind of like more on the mellow side. So Teddy, who started to have more feelings, we don't know. I mean, it does seem like he does have some affection, either that, or she has sunshine coochie or whatever. Also could be that too. But and we don't know how much they talk beyond the production and when the cameras go off. But as far as we know, Teddy has feelings. He's actually in Arizona picking up, and it's kind of interesting. Just like it's totally opposite, but flipped the other way with a different person. Now, Teddy's the one picking up Sky from jail. And remember how Sky went out her way to go get, and I think Teddy rode a plane. I think she took the boat, but I mean, she went to go get her Bobby. Also, AK knows that I'm Mr. Genko shit, Mr. Robbie. But he went to get her, and you know what's so funny? You know how that music you hear, like if y'all used to watch some romantic films, or even some films that sometimes today they have their romantic theme, or you know, even in real life, how it seems like sometimes if your person realizes I love you, I want to be with you the rest of my life, blah blah blah. You hear that certain music that's playing in the background when a person might run into you, or you go, somebody gonna cry, it's gonna be a ring, some Barbra Streisand, somebody's playing it back, Barbra Streisand, somebody big love song playing back, or just that typical piano music that you hear or something. But as soon as Sky was hilarious in confessionals as usual, she was so happy to see Teddy, they kissed everything else, and she was just happy. She just had fresh face on. She skipped. I'm surprised she didn't cartwheel out that motherfucker when she got out of there. And as soon as she runs, she confessionals, like she was like, I am so surprised that I love him. This is my dude, my Nick for life. Even though I kind of I was surprised, wonder how he was able to afford it, because we all know he ain't got no money, he ain't got no job. How he don't make money just sitting on his ass all goddamn day, whatever. But wasn't it saying y'all in confessionals that actually Teddy, the reason why he sits down supposedly, is not like because he's not doing anything. Is it because? Excuse me, y'all. Is it because? Actually, that he's like, didn't they say like he kind of is a silent partner or something in Black Ink or something, and that's why he's able to sit down or something? I could have sworn I heard that. I don't know, might be. Shout out to might be my cousin, my YouTube cousin might be, or Ashley Miller. Shout out to her as well. Love the YouTuber I watch, and also my other fellow YouTuber I watch is also Bonnie Blue. They're the ones that also are my other YouTube cousin, the Ghetto View or Miss Majestic. Shout out to you, hun. Miss Attic, I meant to say, Miss J. Any of y'all also subscribe to all of them, or some more love, subscribe to her as well. She actually doesn't live too far away. She lives in New York, and she doesn't live too far away from, I think, in between Black Ink or formerly known as Ink 24. But sorry, hey, I had to plug them in. Shoot. So, what I'm saying is that I could have sworn that one of them, all of them, a couple above, had said something about Teddy is like a partner. I could have sworn I've heard that. Let me know. But I mean, that's his business. That's his shop, and Teddy want to sit there, and you know, and that's up to him. That's his shop. That's his business. Shit. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm just saying this. I thought like maybe Teddy is a partner, and he just an apartment. That's why he's a solid partner. But you know, if he is one. But anyways. They go and he takes her this time to a suite. He got rose petals. He got a touch with a hat. She, I guess, was in a different. I don't know if she was different because it looked like. First, I thought they were getting a shower gear, but then it made it separate. Like she was in a different room at first, or separate, or she went different, and she got got massage and everything. Went there. He got the a table set up, champagne and dinner, and she's talking, and it seemed like based on that, and as soon as she sat down, her lovely little red dress, whatever, and he, they matching like they, go on Valentine's Day out. That was cute with that on, but what I'm saying is that when she's talking, on the side, especially, I think I took my glasses off for a second, and from the angle, it looked this squeak, like a small penis, whatever he was giving her, right? And she just kind of like, eating, right? But then I put my glass back on and realized it's a big-ass giant strip. She's still chewing. He gives her another one, right? She's still chewing. He gives a third or fourth one. I was like, oh my gosh, she's guy gonna choke again. Somebody gonna have to perform CPR or some shit. That was something like this. No, not CPR. Shit, I'm wrong. However you know it was something, because she gonna choke. And was I right? The fourth one, she started choking, but it wasn't so bad off or whatever. But it just seemed like all he was doing was seeing her to put something in the mouth that kind of was a certain length, and kept feeding her some darn scrimps. And then scrampies, and then took her and was like, let me show you the rest of the room. And it seemed like the only thing we showed the rest of the room was the bedroom, more roses, and Sky, which I already know she, hasn't had none in a minute, sat there, was just like on top of that. And then it felt like, Teddy's gonna get some just the fact of the effort that he put in to come, what he's been doing as far as being supportive for her, just, financially, just like mental wise. So she basically like this, he's gonna get some pussy tonight, and pretty much door closed, and he knew we got some that night, okay? But he does say if anything serious goes on with Sky, whatever, he's ready, even though somebody's going to get their heart broken as far as that. He's like, people think I just want to fuck the bitches, and we already know Teddy loved the bitches, and the bitches love Teddy. Bonnie Blue should find that. She should have put down the shirt. But Bonnie Blue was the one that came to the theme song, which Teddy did sing last season. Did he ever shout out Bonnie Blue for that? No, but I'm just saying. So we only get one tag, I think. Well, we got towards the end, kind of the, again, like indirectly the matching tattoos, but not actually matching tattoos. So to a certain extent, type of matches of the couple tattoos. But anyways, we sat there and seen later on they're now a couple, and seeing the confessional is kind of questioned, like just seeing this disaster waiting to happen. And we kind of think about it like, you should be, out of all people, a little bit seasoned. I'm just saying, a little bit understandable, because like I said, we don't know past here, but he should understand to a certain point. And like I said, I'm just going by what I'm seeing is, we all know, and what we've seen is, at first I didn't have a problem with the the thing is, Season Duchess seemed cool, but everybody has told them basically it was like a downfall of the relationship, even to Season Empire, and he basically changed, started just change and whatever, and acting strange and whatever, and how that is. So we don't know, say, how long Teddy and Sky, if they are still together, not no offense or nothing, but we don't know. But they could be a couple and be, for whatever, going to be on some wedding bell stuff too. You never know. Some of the best love stories don't always be, fairy tale shit. It be sometimes the most crazy, not most crazy, but shit, don't just, work where, you go on a couple days, you fall up, get married and stuff like that type of thing. So, but when they're talking, she's basically talking about how Teddy was there and realized, we get some information, y'all, about Bobby, Mr. Bobby. This is why I was calling that. It turns out that the reason why we didn't find out about her boyfriend, Bobby, ex now, and kind of maybe in a way, this is also another I'm going to go into another reason why probably she wasn't worried about saying, kind of was flirting with Teddy and, whatever. Now, here's a couple things with Bobby. Obviously, if she says Bobby's dick cannot stay up, she's told everybody, in black ink and everybody just in there. But Teddy dick works just as fine. And she's basically saying, say Bobby, has linked dick, broken dick, whatever the case is, or can't get, or whatever. She's saying something wrong with this dick, and I guess he can't really perform that long or something, or whatever. But on top of that, Bobby not only got fucked her over in her pocketbook area in two ways, you know what I mean? He also fucked with her pocketbook as far as like, I don't, maybe she got arrested and left her purse with him, or how he had access to stuff. He basically withdrew her accounts, just went ghosting and blah blah. That's why nobody could have contact with him, because he also was on some grimy shit and sat there and just basically like took off with everything, and nobody's heard that mofo again. And so that's what she's going through. But like I said, we're going to this other situation that also happened the same time around with Sky's talking about her circus. So, but yeah. So we go to another scene, y'all, where Sky and Duchess are going to the apartment, which kind of should have been, once we find out what it was, that she should have went ahead and took, maybe say, even Teddy, because, as they said, like, Teddy is like, he was just like a Teddy wannabe or a clone, whatever, or whatever, that she got him with. She claimed they're totally different, which, based on what I see, to a certain point, actually they are different as far as the character, because Teddy's made things, but he wasn't on no grimy shit like that. I know that much shit. So they went to go to the apartment. Turn out this mofo, now she been staying at Teddy's house. Now I don't know if she's staying like Teddy's house. Maybe he got his own house, whatever, because Duchess sat there and ratted him out when she got mad at Siege when he cheated on her last season, and was saying how Teddy stays with his mom and everything else. It could have been either anger, just telling the truth because you're angry. So, because Teddy went with Siege to get his stuff. But anyways, y'all, basically, he's been squatting at her shit. Like, he broke, you could tell, damn knob on the goddamn door was fucked up. Her and Duchess go in there, because they first look under the door to see if anybody was in there. Damn lights on, I think, and everything else. And when they look in there, y'all, he's got his stuff hanging in there. I guess he thought, like, she was not going to come back. Sky was not going to come back. Or, like I said, he mad him even on the 9 years and stuff like that. But the way he was posted was like, he just knew that she wasn't going to come back type of thing. You know what I mean? Or for a long ass time where he could just sit there and just stay posted or whatever until, for a couple months until they're like, oh, bitch, you ain't paying the rent. I'm just saying, this seemed like he was just staying posted until whenever the fuck he felt like it. And so they go in the bathroom. We see a lady razor type of thing. We see a bullet, and I'm not talking about no gun, sex toy, whatever. And and I think some lotions, hair lotion. What was it? Sheet moisture, something. But like you could tell a lady was there. So not only did he take over her apartment, screwed her out her money, and didn't even screw her appropriately based on what she was saying, but he's fucking other females in the apartment. And basically stole, like I said, squad apartment and fucking the females in there too. And so her baby Dutch, they took all his stuff. She on the fifth floor, whatever. And they started just throwing all his stuff out the window. Duchess gets, some clients to pick up something so she can pick up the bullying. Just hurts whoever the lady stuff, because obviously she must be staying there too. And left her stuff there, to come back there. But girl, you better make sure you get them locks changed or something, because if you able to, somehow get that straightened out, because if he was able to break in her, look like like I said, he broke in her shit. That's what she heard, but you could tell like it wasn't no key, or I don't know, but she just need hopefully get that straightened out. Okay, but as far as her and Teddy right now, they good to go. They are in love for now. So I wonder now, since with her apartment, is she moving back in there, or if she's like her and Teddy like start moving together? That'd be an interesting combination. Okay, but so let's go to this oh shit stuff. Oh shit is on his last day of probation. The other dude that used to be with the other dude wasn't there that day, but still the fact that he beat the case, whatever. As far as right now, he no longer has to go to his to his bondsman, probation office, whatever. I guess, right? So he's saying last day, he's finishing the touch-ups of this dude's tat. It was supposed to be a gargoyle. It was kind of decent, whatever, because it looked like a gargoyle, but it looked like the devil type of gargoyle on his, upper arm, whatever. Because, based like this, now the dude could have talked more shit, but it's kind of like was like the tough love, because, also maybe make sure he got his stat shit straight, right? Like I said, he had his equipment. He asked how he was doing this, what he gonna do with your fiance. He's like, he still wants to work it out with his girlfriend now, I guess, in the moment, because Anna still feels some type of way and all the bullshit with Donna and everything else. And he doesn't want to like keep doing the same process where he just sit here, just make a baby and just make some more babies and keep like more females, whatever. You know what I mean? He wants to like settle down and stop repeating a certain pattern. And so, but like I said, Anna's still mad. I don't know if she was still recovering from the foot thing, the surgery and all that shit, being foot ran over. But we don't know. But the guy dude just said this, like, make sure if you don't, because if you sit here and you fuck up again, you're going to be doing the 3 to 5, to, get the maximum 3 to 5, whatever. So take care, bro, whatever, like this tattoo, whatever. But he was kind of like, but he wasn't sitting here saying, talking shit, like, what? You're going to go to jail, you're going to do the same thing, blah, blah, blah. But because you could tell they gave, like, oh shit, plenty of chances. Okay, so it wasn't like he was sitting there, they sitting there, like they were just going to throw it in there. So even though when they talked shit to him a couple of times, they wanted him to follow the rules. We did realize he kept getting plenty of chances, because there's plenty of times, oh shit, admit it, he didn't go at certain times. Well, I did this, I had to draw, I went to sleep, went back to bed, but blah, blah. We remember those times. So anyway, good luck with that. He's claimed, he's still on the right path trying to get himself together. Now, this, which when we found out with oh shit, again, just looks like, man, you so full of shit, and you were so wrong. Kathy comes there in her Sunday best, and she's like this with a smile on her face and just so calm. And she's kind of been trying to be mellow this whole season to a certain point. It's not like we've seen her when we seen her last season. Or she, even though she's been kind of right, but she's kind of been more calmed down or whatever, I guess. So she comes in with an envelope and everybody just like, what the hell? And oh shit, the way he was acting, we could, and now we can see why Kathy was acting the way it was. Because it turns out she comes in results. As results of oh shit, even though he's saying in confessionals, whether the child's biological son, his son is biologically his or not, he's still going to be there for him. Here go also her, she's like, in the case of, is their baby's name, he's 99% the father. And it turns out, he's just like, oh, thank you, blah, blah, blah. And he's just saying, okay, he's like, Kevin's basically like this, okay, you basically I'm big, so like, I didn't know who my child's father was and all this other stuff. And we gonna stand crying. Everybody else in shop is looking at him differently. No shit, just like he said. No shit, oh shit. You sat there and made this woman look out like she was one of the people, whether she was fucking other dudes or not, whatever, okay? she knew you were the daddy and everybody else knew you were daddy. So all of a sudden now, because you're going to be some brand new shit, whatever, you sat here and decided he just wanted to get her mad because she didn't let him see the kid. But dude, I don't know if she on child support or whatever, but I mean, dude, it's like, did you have to go that rough to sit here and lie on lie and shit like that? Because she could have sat there and accepted, you know, kind of been like, you know, she could have did the test, but just not have did no time to go on camera, you know, whatever, or, you know, had to blah. But what I'm saying is it made her look like she just put a baby on a dude, and everybody knew that was your son. And even Caesar trying to give him some legit like advice, like, dude, don't be like. And it was the first time all season, or at least from what I gathered, that, you know, I don't think his baby moms that he got was in this season. But he said like this: don't be like the point where you're gonna get. You need to make amends as far as like being cool, apologize and everything to her, because you don't want to be brother. He was like, he used to stay not that far away from his daughter, and because I guess the bullshit that his baby mom can't get along with her now is at the point where she took that access away. It might move away where it's hard for him to see his daughter. I mean, his kid, like what happened to him and his daughter. He's like, he wish he used to tuck his child at night, help her with her homework and everything. He was like, you don't want to be like in a position where I am. And so he went outside to apologize, whatever, too. But like I said, that also shows, you know, he's meant to say he didn't take the test wrong. He basically was saying like this: I just made, so you knew. That's why Kathy was like, where's the results? And he's like, it's they hitting up. It's like, Negro, it said 99% you were the daddy too, obviously. And you sat there and just basically was like, whatever. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to get her mad. Oh, you always fucking up. Damn. Like, we had hot. I mean, we already know you kind of, it was too early to sit here and say like you were just all good and shit, but god damn, like, really? I mean, it didn't take that long for you to be, because that just seemed petty and childish, and we some grown ass people here sitting and doing some shit like that. Well, she was mad, so I'm gonna sit here and make a look. The child old enough damn near to drive. Okay, you sitting here talking about all of a sudden, oh, I don't think that was my child. And sitting there with Kathy. So Kathy just like, you know, you do this, you owe an apology to son, blah, blah. She's crying, blah, blah. He kind of somewhat apologized, but you could tell she's still hurt. So I don't know where it's going from there, if he's going to be allowed to see, you know, go out to fight to see his son, whatever. And he sees a picture of his son, he takes off the board in the middle thing. He said he wants to do better, raise his son better man than he was. And saying like, you know what, I guess he was thinking about maybe he should make amends with her and blah, 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 and should kind of thought about it a little bit or something. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. After he kind of was saying the speech, I just was just rolling my eyes and stuff and just thinking about, you know, I'm not gonna do that rest of the week type of thing. And I kind of tune out what he was saying, because I'm like, that was some complete bullshit, old shit. But that, you mean that's your name? Oh shit. And that is just so fucking wrong. Really. Get your shit together, shit. Okay? So, anyways, let's go into, while we're intertwined, this Puma / situation with Duchess and Caesar, okay? And like this problem, oh my gosh, the problem, this is why you need communication, and communication past some fucking damn thing, like, you know, even text messages and shit like that, okay? Because even that could get bent, okay? Now, we sat there and we see Puma and Kwani going to the therapist. The same, I mean, he's also a relationship, a love, marriage specialist. He also not only will, you know, take care of your balls, but take care of the balls so they stay in marriages or something. Puma saying something like that, right? And they're talking about the situation because of C's and, you know, C's done body slam, and they still feeling that C's went there to actually threaten his family, stuff like that. That's causing problems with him and Kwani's relationship. Even though I'm kind of surprised, and unless this is edited, y'all, let's rewind this. Okay, whatever. Because around the time that Puma and her had problems prior to this, right? Kwani's been trying to find herself, and when Puma was kind of somewhat still cool with Caesar, kind of like maybe possibility the problems that he's having in this marriage also carried on, where maybe that's why some of his other friendships and bonds kind of shaky too, to a certain extent, you know what I mean? I don't know. But what I'm saying is that last time I recall, wasn't she sit here FaceTiming him and stuff, and they had problems where he wasn't staying home enough, and Kwani was gone for about a month and had to find herself in Florida and all this other stuff, and tuition go there. Wasn't that the first episode 1 or episode 2? I'm just saying this problem where we can say like problem C's and stuff. There is some problems there, but I'm thinking is if it wasn't put in the therapy session, it needs to be discussed if they still are going to therapy, because of the simple fact is she said she was trying to find herself. They are barely newlyweds. They ain't, it ain't like no 20, it ain't like no even a decade that I think they've been together. They haven't, I'm sorry, but I'm saying this as far as just being the first year of being newlyweds, I think. And she's already was trying to they had marriage issues prior to all this fuckery was going the rest of the season. Am I the only one that marries? Maybe that's just my perspective, but that's what I recall. All right. So, anyways, we're going by actually. They're going to session about this, and now he's trying to protect, like, basic therapist, what you gonna do as far as situation with C's protecting his family and about the Big Joe situation, and he knows he has to do more as far as protecting. And Kwame's like this, I know how to protect myself. I know how to bring it and woo and all this stuff, right? So it's gotten to a point where she's carrying mace and knife and brass knuckles shit in her damn purse and stuff like that. So he's basically in the mind frame that he has to protect his family at any cost type of thing. So that's what he needs to do. And so we got the thing, like I say, Duchess and C's. We're going to fast because it wasn't a lot of stuff that was brought out because we want to bring up the main thing about this fight. Now, here's what happened. Watt is supposed to be walking his fashion show. It's New York Fashion Week. And I don't even know. He invited the whole crew, whatever, but I don't know if he invited Puma or did he know even Puma was there? Because Wade was talking like, I didn't know Puma was going to walk in the show, too. But Watt is saying like it's a good opportunity, whatever, for him and stuff like that. So he invited everybody, right? Out of the Black Green crew and from the Black Green crew, right? So, on that note, after they walk, whatever, Puma, after they finish, Duchess and C's come late, whatever, right? And he hears about their names outside. And Puma, whatever, Radar, I guess he was trying to be on this Incredible Hulk shit, decides to go confront them outside. Because again, it's things miscommunication. He figured because they are there, okay, that they are planning on, they basically dare to they basically dare to mess with his wife and him. So to make a long story short, y'all, he comes out there and it turns out they show the footage a little more and talk about it later on during, like in another scene later, because that was the remaining amount of the episode. So make a long story short, this is really what happened was, it was blurriness, there were people using their own cameras in most cases. But here's what happened. Duchess outside, Puma seen it, he basically started talking shit. Kind of like when Kwame was coming to the shop, he kind of picked it up at this event. He basically like, fuck you need boo 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 and all this stuff, right? Kwame's, no. It was Duchess saying some stuff, but here's what happened. It turned out, I guess one of his Puma's boys / what works, whatever, his girl picks up, swing, basically jumps Duchess from, it looked like from behind, and gets her ponytail and like swings, like pulling her down. And Kwame, kicking, both of them are kicking her or something to have her down the ground somewhat. And then C's, of course, I guess goes over there. I don't know if he's trying to pull, I think he was trying to pull both Kwame and this other chick off of Duchess. And then this other dude is up here trying to pull, is on top of Siege on his back or whatever, some cute, whatever his name is and shit, trying to say, because, Siege is trying to get these broads off, jumping, Duchess. And because Duchess, all of a sudden, because she claimed that those were two, but the way Duchess was saying, she had a separate video that they had shown, and she basically like this, because Puma sitting here talking stuff, but it turns out I guess some also Siege dudes, because Siege was holding his own, and for what they were saying is it was other Siege dudes who probably used to be formerly known as Puma dudes, for Puma's friends as well, was able to get, some of Puma's workers or whatever, like I said, basically they just was fighting, whatever. But Puma's dudes lost, and Puma found a way that he was the only one that did not get his ass, get hands thrown at him. Duchess said like this, 4 girls tried to jump her, but all they did was mess up her hair. She woke up like this and still looked it like that. Okay, whatever. But it turns out in the footage that everybody was surprised it's not over the Puma thing, because they're up here thinking like Puma started some shit. It turns out that also too, that I forgot to mention that now we see a conversation. They talk about the aftermath of the shit, and they also they didn't show on the blogs or the previous thing until tonight that Puma had a fucking bottle in his hand. I guess he's gonna use Caesar to fucking ball ass head to break the goddamn thing. Like, well, damn. But he in his mind frame just went berserk And like C said, he wished he didn't have to take the love. He was trying to grow out of like sitting here, you know, scrapping and shit like that. And he just seemed like he lost and had to go back to a point that he didn't want to go to based on that, you know what I'm saying, because of that circumstance. But like I said, all Puma's boys got beat up, whatever, for what they were saying. They basically say they should get Puma's ass because he put them in those circumstances. But, you know, Puma and Kwame and his mother-in-law are sitting there at some outside of some restaurant, and talking. Now all of a sudden, Puma shockingly has got respect for Kwame's mom, because he feels like this. He was fighting for, you know, the family's honor, protecting his wife, and you know she's basically like this, like, here's to go Kwame's mom talking about, you know, they set you up on purpose. Somebody told them there, and they would come kick you, blah blah blah, and I was surprised that I had to rewind back, because Denise was saying, well, who seemed like when the crazy auntie came there, and she came there too, she was kind of asking the way C kind of like, well, what was going on? And I first thought kind of even after that conversation, and even how she was talking to Puma afterwards, she kind of was making it seem like, okay, some stuff that happened, but she wasn't trying to sit here and kind of like just jump and say like, oh, this thing, he started shit, Puma, you started shit. She kind of was looking the other way. Now she's trying to say, like, basically they were trying to set them up. And she's, you know, Kwame's like this. She's like sick and tired. And because, you know, and Kwame's mom all like, now all of a sudden it's going to take it to a whole nother level. You know, they're going to keep coming after you. And the way they talk, you know, even like I said, even now to point out, even Watt is sitting there like, you know, disgusted with Puma's behavior. Sky, when this bottle was thinking against Steve, was saying like, you know, the fact that he was going to throw, you know, crush my head a bottle like I'm just some nigga is, you know, just some nigga, but yet just like that. And despite even the fuckery went on when he just, you know, Hulk Hogan, I forgot what's that surplexed him and his shopping shit. He was just surprised that he would go as far as one, you know, hit him with the fucking glass, literally, and shit. Like, you know, despite our differences and stuff, we was, you know, we grew up together close, but, you know, it's sad to say, and I'm looking from this angle. Some people you grow up with, some people you can raise, and all this other stuff, they can even be blood related to your ass. And things change, and people change, and sometimes, unfortunately, you realize it's time for y'all to move on. Even after all this y'all been through together, what, you know, whatever. You know, sometimes years just pass by, and that's just that, and you move on from it, you know. Just because you knew each other since y'all was birth for 13 plus years, or 9, you know, 7 years plus, or whatever, despite whether it's friendship, what type of relationship it is, or whatever, sometimes it's just that I was with them this such and much time, we used to be together, and sometimes y'all just had to move on, you know. And so they're talking now. Kwame even said, now they're going back and forth about who said what, but based on the back end crew, and in their setting, they're not talking in a way it's like, we gonna get that nigga, blah blah blah. What I hear, like, they were just a shock, and they were just like mad at Puma, but as far as right now, they're not talking about anything like they're gonna come after their ass, you know what I mean, again, or whatever. Kwame's mom, on the other hand, and Kwame talking like they just gonna continue. Kwame should just, well, you know what, our lease is up 2 months, we can go to the ATL and call it a day. And Puma's like this, if they don't come after me, blah blah, he is kind of warning, thinking about the circumstance, but he's like this, no one's gonna let me leave this area, I'm comfortable here. And his Kwame's mom, well, what you gonna do? Is you gonna keep dealing with this, or y'all gonna have to go? All right. And that's kind of left like, you don't know where it's gonna go in from now. And also too, you see, like, almost the last scene, how they were showing flashback about the stuff the Siege and Justice went through, and they basically want us to know, you thought I thought I told you we won't stop, and that's pretty much what they were on, and got the knuckle tattoos at the end. I think Duchess had it here, and I think Siege had, you know, black ink or something, whatever. Did he have that black ink, I think, or something on his hand? So they both got like the tattoos. But I think Duchess, like I said, she gets her name, and like I said, they get the match tattoos. Was not like I get her name, I get his name, I get her name type of thing, you know, to kind of, you know, whatever. But that's how it kind of ended, like, you know, and that's that. And we have to see it from there. But it's kind of disappointing that, you know, after, well, I think what they looked at the season, I wonder would ever a day come that Puma and Siege can actually talk after all that, or whatever. As far as coming, not to say they're gonna be friends again, but mutual, because it's like I said, some of that was communication, and I could understand them feeling some type of, because Sassy, like I said, still, I mean, also I forgot to mention the Duchess said that Sassy, and I think also here Siege was saying Sassy is just in the same area as Puma because she's gonna agree on the side. Now, like I said, they didn't show Sassy after the fight or this fighting scene or DD, so I didn't see them and nor were they mentioned, so I don't know, maybe they thought that, I can't say that they were just sitting here and letting Duchess get jumped or not, because I didn't see them, and nor were they brought. Sassy was brought up in the confessionals after that, so that's a question mark there too. So we're just left with questions until then, and until next time or next season. But anyway, y'all, thanks for, like I said, you know, if y'all been watching my reviews, have been watching me for a while, the stuff I was going with, so I came back and tried to at least review a couple of seasons. But hopefully, I'm positive as low as I can, I'll be able to future season or next season, whatever, continue to review the show. But thank you, y'all. Y'all take care. Pleasant night, pleasant weekend, and I'll see y'all next video, y'all. All right.